Hello, good people. Welcome to the first episode of the Minimalist Way. So basically, this video series is going to be about my experiences of embracing minimalism and tips and resources for you to also begin and continue your minimalist journey. Today I'm going to be talking about how and why I chose minimalism. And just for the record, when I started this, I wasn't really aware that there was a term for it, or didn't connect the term minimalism to what I was doing. So the first reason why I chose minimalism was sort of a rebellion against the routine that I felt trapped in. So it was a couple of years ago, almost going on 3 years now. You know, I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. Working, paying my bills, keeping my home, had a car, hanging out with my friends every now and then, was in a relationship, so I was leading a normal life, but I wasn't happy. So I felt stuck in the routines. I like to call it stuck in the trappings of the American dream. Because I don't want the American dream. I don't want to work for someone else, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 7 to 3, whatever your hours are. I don't want to work for someone else. I don't want a house with a picket fence. I don't want 2 kids. Or however many kids. I may want a kid at some point, but I don't want multiple kids. I don't want to work for someone until I'm 65 and retire, and then try to figure out what I want to do with my life at that point. I don't want a whole bunch of debt from the house, the car, and all the other stuff that they tell us that we should have. I don't want the American dream. It's not my dream. My dream is freedom. Freedom to do what I want. Freedom to do what I love. Freedom to help people in the way that I want to help them. Freedom to have adventures and travel. And just the freedom to control my life and not be and not feel like I'm obligated or controlled by things that are external to me. So minimalism for me was really about starting on the inside, evaluating how I feel and what things that I desire for my life, and working outwards, and me creating the things that help me realize my dreams and goals and desires, versus looking externally to society to validate my life, or to tell me what I should be doing with my life, aka the American dream. So that's the overall thought behind this minimalist journey for me. That's my overall, guiding principle that pushed me into minimalism. Also, I just hate carrying around a lot of crap. Moving like 3 different times in the past 5-6 years. 4 times. Moving 4 different times over the past 5 years. Also, all the moving, remember in college where like at the end of every year you have to move your stuff out of the dorm and then move it back in. really over the years, I really got sick of that. Moving so much shit that I wasn't even using back and forth to different places. And I really just became fed up with it because I definitely want to travel more and live in other places, and I'm not gonna be carrying a whole bunch of shit with me every time I'm ready to pack up and go somewhere. And I don't want to have to like think about, okay, how am I gonna get rid of this stuff, or how am I gonna ship it to where I'm going, or not doing it anymore. Okay, how did I do this? How did I begin? I made the decision that I wanted to move home. My purpose for moving home was to save money and to prepare myself to move to some other part of the country. At the time, I wanted to move to Charleston, South Carolina, or Savannah, Georgia. And I wanted to take a trip out of the country. So making the decision to move back home wasn't easy. Because you get used to like living on your own terms, and also, I was living in the DC metro area, so I'm used to being around things, having stuff to do. And where my home is, where my mother lives at, there's none of that. It's a rural area. It's boring. Sort of. It's boring. Yeah, it's boring. So moving home, it wasn't an easy decision, but I knew it was necessary. So in the process of moving home, I got rid of all my furniture. I got rid of some clothes and just a lot of stuff that I had that I was, as I said, moving from place to place over the years. I just got rid of a lot of stuff once and for all. After about 3 months of being home, I still had my job, so I was commuting back and forth about an hour and 15 minutes each way. And I did it for about 3 months, and then I just got tired of it. Commuting is like hell. I hate it. And even though I changed commuting is just, it's just time wasted. I don't know why we can't just teleport everywhere we need to go. But anyway, so yeah, I got tired of the commuting and I quit. Now, from the time that I decided I was going to move home up until that point that I quit, I had been saving some money. So I just didn't, break out there with no money. But yeah, I quit my job. I got a part-time job, where I lived at. And I chose to work part-time because I still needed to, earn some money. But working part-time would also gave me the time to start really thinking about what I wanted to do with my life and set those plans into place. And, one of the major things that happened, once I quit is once I quit that other job and like started working and had more time to sort of like think about my life, is when I really, committed to life coaching. I had said previously that I wanted to be a life coach. I had even done research, but I never really committed to it and took any action steps towards becoming a life coach. So one thing that the embracing minimalism led to for me was finally taking the actions towards becoming a life coach, which is one of my, my dream career. So I did that. I went to Mexico for 3 weeks. And guess what? When I went to Mexico, I only took a backpack and my purse. For 3 weeks, that's all I had. And that's all I carried around with me all throughout Mexico. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't even really a vacation for me. I guess you can call it a vacation, but I don't look at it as a vacation. For me, it was just a time to like, just reflect on things that had happened, earlier that year, reflect on those things and heal from things that were difficult during that time, and clear my mind and start to think about the future. So yeah, I did those things. And I'm still on this journey. Like, I'm still got stuff that I need to get rid of, physical stuff and emotional stuff that I'm still have, even though everything that I own right now fits into my small bedroom that I have in my mom's house. And this bedroom is tiny. Like, I have a twin bed in there, a TV, a couple of other, like a little stand that has my stuff on it, and I have a small tiny closet. So I really can't fit, there's really not much room to fit much stuff in there, but even within that small space, I still have stuff that I need to get rid of before I leave to go to Seattle. And I also got rid of my car. I don't own it. I still use my car. It's still here because my mom has it, but I don't own the car anymore. So I've gotten rid of it, but when I go to Seattle, I will definitely be free of the car because I won't even be able to use it anymore. I'll be back to my 2 feet and public transportation, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Starting my minimalist journey and starting to eliminate unnecessary things from my life really helped me get clarity on my goals for my life and my vision for my life. It helped me get clarity, which is very important. And it also helped me make space for other things that I wanted in my life. Namely, more experiences. But it also helped me make, not just experiences though, it really helped me make mental and emotional and spiritual space to create the life that I want. So that's why minimalism is so important to me. And that's why, I encourage you to think about, how minimalism can benefit you. So in the next video, I'll be talking about tips for you to start your own minimalist journey and some things you should know before starting your journey. Alright, so thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Peace.